Music is an awesome tool. It's pretty well one of the most empowering things I think that we can do is listen to music. You get that nostalgic feeling, you get that emotion flowing, you get the energy pumping through you because of the relationship you have to the song. Maybe it brings something up, maybe it has you reflect back on something that you, or a moment in time that you felt empowered or any other feeling. But it always feels best when you're listening to it from a new state of being than when you heard the song before, or then it makes you reflect on if you felt anything less than empowered. Okay? That is awesome, that feeling. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Today I'm going to talk about the 3 G's to mastering 3D. Okay? And those 3 G's are get over it, get in it, and go through it. So, to cut straight into it, it's a beautiful day, by the way. I'm outside, and I couldn't be in a better place. Beautiful British Columbia. So, what I mean by get over it, you can chalk it down to you've heard of the 5 W's. Who, what, where, when, why. And that basically is what I'm talking about here. And that's who you are, where you're from, why you're here, what your mission is, and when it's all going to happen. Okay, so get over that. Get over it. And I say get over it in an empowering sense because it's inundating, it's stressful, it causes resistance. If you try to figure these things out, if you don't know who you are, if you haven't found your authentic expression, your authentic identity, okay, your individual truth, if you don't have that, those things can be daunting. You'll bounce off the walls going to guru and video on YouTube, book, master, whatever the case is, you'll find yourself just all over the map, basically, with no real sense of direction, okay? So get over it, okay? That will come. That can come now. You may have already done some research. You may already know a bit about what you're all about. That's fine. That's cool. Do it. I mean, come on. It took me, I would say, like 5 years to get to the point where I'm at, and, I've just literally relinquished recently over my trip that tore me apart in Europe just about a month ago. Spent a couple months in Europe. And everything just falls into place now. Now when I think of a question, I literally get directed to the answer. And a little example of this is yesterday I was in this very park, and I was walking after I had just done some somersaults in the field that I was in, which is right over there. Not real somersaults, but I wanted to do a handstand. And there was a lot of people around, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, Daniel, really, you're going to do handstands? Everyone's kind of chilling out in the sun, relaxing, having a good time. No one's really doing somersaults or anything, but the field is huge, okay? As you can tell behind me, the field's pretty big. So I said, well, Daniel, do handstands not only because you want to, but because you don't want to, because I really wanted to. So I ended up doing them anyway. So for about 15 minutes I did, and I noticed that a couple of people came behind me. 2 guys were now playing Frisbee almost instantly as soon as I started doing handstands. And then there was a couple that set up shop in the form of a picnic just not too far from where I was. And then a mom starts chasing a little baby toddler who's running around, and the baby's staring at me. So that was empowering. That was awesome. I don't know why I had any resistant thoughts of doing a handstand, because I wanted to do them. Not to mention, I had real good form. I actually held a handstand for like a good 5 seconds. That's a long time to hold a handstand if you don't do them regularly at all, ever. And so when I was leaving, that was, I got a little head dizzy. I'm listening to, my music, and I have some motivational pieces on there from various people and places that I listen to. And one in particular was a recording from Bashar that I have on there, and he was talking about knowing yourself, the fabric of your being, along those lines. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, Daniel, the fabric of my being, like to the molecular level, that's who I am. So if I don't feel okay with that, I don't think anything else, it's like building something on an ill-conceived foundation, So as I was walking, I had a choice again between 2 pathways, and I could have gone this path or that path, just behind me there. And No real reason. I just went right, and I looked left, and I saw something on the ground, and I was like, Daniel, that's something that you could pick up, right? It's a little blues clue, as I like to call them. I get littered with synchronicity in that sense of finding things. So as I'm walking, I'm like, no, this was the right path. This is cool. Even if it's not, this is the one I choose, and I you know, appreciate that I chose this way. As I'm walking, this guy and his girlfriend or his wife and his child are coming up towards me, and I see he has a shirt that looks something like planets. And I was like, oh, okay, this is why I went this path. And then as I'm walking towards him, I realized that his shirt wasn't planets, although it is. It was like an atom. So what it was, you know, how an atom goes, and they have those rings all around it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you a clip right now of exactly the t-shirt he was wearing. So he was wearing that t-shirt, but it was all black and white anyway. So that was crazy, because I'm like, oh my God, you know, an atom, molecular level. That's insane. And so as I'm walking, again, I veered from a regular path that I would normally take, and I found this little thing, okay? This is just me sharing my synchronicity with you. I don't know, you may recognize this. It's like two tetrahedron pyramids on top of each other, but it's a piece for a game, basically is what it is. And it's got like, I don't know what that is. These are like scientific things. It's probably for some Brainiac game that I've never played. But anyway, nonetheless, it's pretty cool. Okay, and in the same breath, and this all happened like within 20 minutes, and then I'm walking again, and I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, I've got to look at myself from that perspective. Yeah, something about like getting to the core of who I am, you know, and it had nothing to do with my star origins or, you know, what my mission is or anything like that. That all comes when I know who I am. Then I find this. This is cute. It's a little Toy Story, you know those things that you put the frames in and you go chick, 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 and you see? Anyway, that's what I found. So I thought it was pretty cool because as I was finding this, I did a visualization where I was literally, there was like a rope, kind of like a tug of war, and I was pulling the rope towards me. And as I'm pulling it towards me, I'm thinking, you know, okay, I'm going through every reality. I was on my way to the corner store, actually. And I'm like, by the time I get to the corner store, I will be in the version of that corner store that I want to be in, okay? So as I'm pulling myself forward, it's like I could feel myself being pulled through one frame, being pulled to another frame, being pulled through another frame. And I would actually, you know, feel that actually happening. So I thought it was quite ironic, synchronistic, but of course, that I found this. And this is actually called, it says right there, Viewmaster, okay? So it's the place that we need to go to see things wholly, really, if that makes any sense to you. So that was my little synchronistic adventure yesterday in this very park. And I have them every day. I could share them with you, but I don't know. When they get kind of cool like that, I'll share them. So we were talking about the 3 G's to mastering 3D. Okay, so the first one was get over it. So we talked about that. Get over the 5 W's: who you are, where you're from, why you're here, what your mission is, and when it's all going to happen. Because if you don't know yourself, your authentic self-expression, your individual truth, those things can't apply to you. It's like going in reverse. It's like the inverse of things, okay? So you really, actually the inverse of things would be a good way to approach it, going from the inside out, okay? So that's get over it. So just accept that stuff, okay? Just put it all to the side. Just, you know, give it a rest for a little while, because it's only frustrating you anyway, because you're coming across a new piece of information, a new video, a new channeler, new source of information, a new book, and it's just going to keep ripping you open and ripping you open until you have that firm foundation to stand in, which is your authentic self, which is who you are in your totality, which brings me through the next G. Get in it. And what I mean by get in it is literally get in it, your vortex, alignment, the vibrational state of being that is most resonant with who you are, okay? So if you've ever watched an Abraham Hicks video, or if you've ever heard of aligning yourself vibrationally. You can hear that from many sources. That's what I'm talking about. So get in it. Get into alignment. Look at yourself in a way that you're looking at yourself beside yourself, okay? And just watch what it is you do. And I was listening to music just before, I made this video, and I've been listening to it, a lot today. Music is great. It's that empowerment feeling. And as you have that memory or that image that comes up of, let's say you're listening to a song that is reminding you of a past relationship or a past job or someone you missed that's passed on or whatever, that song pulls you back into that vibration, which means it's still active within your field, okay? But when you're aligned with who you are, it doesn't do that. You just look at it and you say, oh, okay, that vibration is no longer active. So that's what you want to do. You want to get in it. Get in your alignment so that when you experience the contrast in the world and when you experience the situations that are presented to you through the contrast, most of them things that you've gone through that are coming back again and again and again until you do the next part, which is go through it in alignment. Okay? So get in your vortex, get in that aligned state, whatever you need to do to get there. We'll digress about that in another video, okay? Go through it. Now, what I mean there is life. Go through life, go through the contrast of this life, and go through every single one of your experiences aligned in it in order to get over it or to transcend it, okay? So once you go through life with this aligned state, and it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, if anybody thought that they could do it, I guess it would probably be me. I mean, I'll admit that. I was like, oh, this is going to be right on. I've got all these things going for me, synchronistically, vibrationally, this magic in my life. But there were no exceptions, and I never thought I was. But I mean, come on, like it's hard when you're faced with a contrasted experience. When you are in a situation with maybe a loved one, a friend, a family member, a coworker, someone you meet randomly on the street, and they say or do something that gets a reaction out of you, of course it's going to get a reaction out of you, okay? Of course it is. But when it does, that's when you catch it. And I had this experience yesterday. I caught this experience, and it literally felt as though I had my energetic fields around me that were spinning, almost as though someone threw a wrench in there. Literally, actually, as if someone threw a wrench in there. And it just ground. Like, I could feel this grinding energetically through like my whole being and my field. It was insane. It was the first time that I'd ever felt it like that to that degree, because I was really focused on catching myself when something else moves me vibrationally. When something moves me vibrationally, it's like you may have a rule with your roommate or with your brothers or sisters or whatever it is. I had this with my brothers. It was a rule of thumb at my house where you had to, if you took something of someone else's, you had to put it back where they found it. Or where they left it, or where you found it. And that's kind of the same thing here with your vibration. If someone moves me vibrationally, if I get an emotion or a feeling, whether it's good or bad, full spectrum, positive and negative, without clinging to the positive ignorantly, I say, wait a minute, put me back. How do I get back, first of all? Because I didn't move, you moved me. The situation moved me. This is insane, So when you start to see it like that, you're like, oh, okay. And this doesn't mean you're devoiding yourself of emotion, okay? It doesn't mean you're depriving yourself of feeling natural thoughts and feelings. Totally, by all means, you can do it. But you can be aware of those feelings as they flow through you. You can be aware of what you're allowing yourself to feel based on your experience. So in essence, what you're doing is you're literally having your experience through your own perception, through your own individual expression, through you. It's not through someone else. It's not based on what they did, what they said, what they're doing, who they are, what happened. It's not about that. It's about what you do with it. So let's say, for instance that they, say something that brings you to a lower vibration where it makes you angry, and you're like, oh man, I'm so angry now. This person pissed me off, dude. Fuck you. You have no right to do that. Do you really want to live that way? Like, who? Do you even know what you're doing? You just have to, literally, this is just it. Really is. Find a good feeling thought. Find a way to flip that experience to take something from it. Maybe you can say, well, you know what? Oh, I caught myself. Here's what I did. I'm judging that person. Oh, I'm judging them so hard. I have no idea who that person is, where they've come from, what they're doing, why they did what they did, And on top of that, I'm responsible for how I feel. Someone else can't make me feel a certain way. That's something that is totally, totally misconstrued. A lot of people that I talk to really don't apply that. Okay, so let's just apply that. And I'm applying it. I'm talking to the camera right now in the middle of the park, telling you about how hard it is at first. But just like a little erase that what I just said, because it's not hard. It's not hard because I'm coming from the perspective of being in the vortex right now, of being aligned, and knowing that it's exactly what I want. It's exactly who I am. It's exactly who I must be. It's exactly what I'm striving to be in every single day, in every single moment, in every single experience, through every single bit of the contrast. No matter what, that's my goal. No matter what, and when I'm there, I'm going to milk it. I'm going to literally bask in that place, in that alignment, and go through life like that. It's so cool. So try that. Okay? These are the 3 G's to mastering 3D. Okay? So, like I said, it's get over it, get in it, and go through it. Okay? Get over it. Forget who you are, where you're from, why you're here, what your mission is, and when it's all going to happen. And just put that to the side. That will come, I guarantee you. You will find answers in places that you didn't think you would ever find answers. Get in it. Get in vibrational alignment with who you know you want to be. Okay? Your vortex. Get in it. Get in that vibrational state of being that represents the highest capacity of vibration you're capable of embodying. That highest vibrational state of being. It's who you are in your totality, okay? So just get to know that. And when you get to know that, get to want to be it, okay? That's the place you want to be. Get in it. And then go through it. Go through life, go through experience, go through contrast every single moment of every day in the vortex, aligned. And once you do that, you really will get over everything, okay? And that's probably the most simplistic process that I could offer you, and I'm doing it now. So, my videos to come, I'm sure you're going to see what I'm talking about. I'm only going to make videos when I'm in this state, obviously, and I recommend anybody else who also makes videos or interacts with people. I mean, I really don't want to do anything if I'm not in this state, because I feel so empowered. I feel like I literally am making everything happen. I'm bringing myself closer and closer and closer to that vibrational match to just manifest everything that I have in that vibrational escrow that's just waiting for me, everything I've ever asked for, okay? So that's where I'm at. And I'll end the video on talking about awareness and realization, because I've also noticed that some people are aware of who they are, some people have realized who they are, some people just say words, basically, and there is no real empowered meaning behind what they're saying. So I'll give a metaphor. Awareness is like being at your 9 to 5, and you work 40 hours a week, maybe 50 or 60, whatever the case is, and you are making ends meet for your family. So you're average, okay? You're real average. You're just getting by. And you win the luxury car of your dreams. You win it. All of a sudden, you get this phone call that says, hey, Daniel, you've won this amazing car. I don't know my luxury car. I don't even know what my luxury car is because I don't know a lot about cars. But let's just say, I can see myself, I'm driving a BMW, okay? So the most luxurious car of your dreams, you win it. That's what awareness is, okay? So when you're driving that car, oh my, how you are going to drive it so smooth. How you are going to make sure it is in the car park, covered. How you are going to make sure people see what you're driving and people know that you won it. Or people know that you have that car. You're going to want to drive people to the pizza shop to get pizza after the bar. You're going to want to pick people up. You're going to want to drive around the city. You're going to want to turn the music up and listen to it as you go around the drag or whatever it is. And you are going to be very, very, very proud of that car, okay? And so swallow the pride, really, though. So that's just how it is. That's just your reaction to it, because it's something that you didn't have that you have now, and it does make you feel good in a way. So that's what it is. Awareness is like getting the luxury car of your dreams by winning it. Okay, you have the same sort of appreciation level for it. So when people say that they're aware, you may notice that they go around and they will find information and share it with others and talk about, what's going on in this part of the world, what's going on in that part of the world, what's going on in the dimensions, what's going on up in heaven, why we're all here, what month in 2012 is going to bring forth the most tumultuous change, which month in 2012 is going to be the most have the most potential for some sort of magnificent occurrence for us all. That's like awareness. It's like, yeah, duh. Anything could happen at any moment, and yeah, there's projections that can be made based on where we're currently at. But it takes a little more than awareness to see that. That's realization. So realization, in the same metaphor of winning a car, or a luxury car, realization is if you had the unlimited abundance in your life, financially and in every other regard, that you literally went out and bought the luxury car of your dreams, and it was almost like a second or a third car. It was just like, you just said, you know what, I've got my BMW, I've got my Lexus, I got my Jeep and my Land Rover, but I don't have, I don't know, a McLaren F1, I don't know, whatever kind of car would be your dream at that point. So you go out and you buy it, and when you have it, you don't have that same sense of pride where it's coming from this deep gratitude of you not having it before, because you always knew. You just realized, hey, you know what? It's time I buy that car. So yes, it will still fall under, the covered parking, and you'll still drive it around, you'll still be proud of it. But do you know what I'm saying? That novelty of it isn't as intense as in awareness, okay? There's still a level of novelty to it, and you will. But realization is literally awareness in application. Okay, so there's no running to this person, telling them when the aliens are going to arrive, and telling them, how their energy is bad and what they need to do to heal themselves and where they need to be in their life. There's none of that. I mean, people that are aware would surely do that. But when you're realized, again, when you're aligned, you see everything as a projection of yourself. You see everything in unity. You see everything as contrast to give you the opportunity to define your state of being, therefore define your reality, therefore bring to you whatever the case is. Bada bing. Yeah, so I guess that's it for this video. I'm getting real hot, and I'm gonna snack on some things that I brought with me in this park. But yeah, I think there's something else that I want to talk about. There is. Thank you. So when we're talking about the vibrational state of being, that vortex that you're in, and you're saying to yourself, oh, I'm in it, and trust me, at this current stage and point in my life, I'm aligning, okay? Like I'm in and out of the vortex, practicing being in the vortex. And what you will notice is that the circumstances and outer reality aren't going to be an immediate change, okay? They can't be an immediate change. It's like going to school and doing all the courses and not taking any exams. It's like not taking the test. You don't have your certificate. You got to get certified. That's what I mean by get over it, get in it, and then go through it, okay? Go through it. So when you're aligned and you're saying, man, I've been practicing this alignment, but I'm not seeing results. I'm not seeing this immediate thing. You will see subtle immediacies, okay? You really will. If you pay attention, maybe it's someone that says hello to you, someone, those subtle kind of things. Maybe something just comes to you. You find a $20 bill on the ground. I don't know. So you won't see true immediacy with the larger things. What you are going to see is literally like an echo or the same reverberator reality that you've been going through that caused you to feel the way you feel anyway. But when you're faced with those same circumstances and the same situation, what is going to transcend that for you is when you approach it in alignment in your vortex and go through it with that new state of being, therefore reacting differently to it, proving that you've actually changed, that you've actually changed your state of being. It doesn't lie. That's like your test. So once you do that, you'll find it's like a checklist. It's like gone. Okay, I don't need to work on that anymore. That situation isn't going to manifest as much. That situation isn't going to be as intense. That situation won't show its face around here anymore. That sort of contrast I've, transcended. So that's the way that works. So just to give you like a little hope, and I am, patting myself on the back every time I'm faced with a situation. And again, I'll end it on the note of the music. The music does that too, where it'll bring you back and you're like, nope, I'm reacting to it differently. I'm not as attached to it. I'm not as involved with it. And how? Well, I'm proving it by using my current vibration as my reference point, not where I was when I heard the song and had the feelings and got caught up. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hang out and listen to some more music, stay in the vortex, and empower myself. So I'll see you next week. Until then, practice them, the 3 Gs to mastering 3D. Get over it, get in it, and go through it. You're not alone. Everybody's here. I'm here. Inbox me, talk to me, go to my website, nanesso.com, work with me. I'm here to work with you. So thanks, guys. We will see you next week.